Hi, Mo here for the love of yoga. And today I'm going to break down Surya Namaskar A, Sun Salutation A, and I like these. I like these a lot. I love to do a sun salutation because I read once that it helps to kind of lower the anxiety. So when I'm really up in my head and I just need to bring everything back down, I'm physically moving everything. So for me, I'm imagining that I'm moving all of the wild things in my head, all the chitta vrittis, just settling it back in and grounding. So it's one of those beautiful practices that makes you feel grounded, but then you're also still moving, so you're getting a lot out of it. I will break it down in a way that we're just going to go kind of slow, and then we'll do it with the breath because it's normally done with the breath. But let's break down the poses, okay? Okay, great. I'm going to start at the top of my mat. Just in Tadasana. So I'm in mountain pose, Tadasana. And in my mountain pose today, I'm going to bring my prayer to my heart. So this mudra of a prayer to your heart. Before we go, I'm going to take a second just to notice. Maybe I can feel the beating of my heart on my thumbs. Okay, from there, inhale your prayer to the sky. Urdhva Hastasana, maybe you feel your side bodies stretching towards the sky, reaching up. Some people make it into a back bend. In this case, let's just keep our spine neutral since we're, just starting out. And from your Urdhva Hastasana, slight bend in your knees as you fold forward, Uttanasana. Forward fold. Hands placed to the mat. I place my hands a little bit, about a handprint in front and at an angle of my toes. That's where I like them. Hands are planted into the mat for my Uttanasana. I had a slight bend in my knees, and when I came into the Uttanasana, I was able to extend my knees a little bit more, but by bending to come down, it helps protect my knees so that way I'm not just falling forward and affecting my muscles and tendons. Okay, from your Uttanasana, right leg comes back, no lunge. Left leg comes back, downward facing dog. Hips are moving towards the sky, hands are planted to the mat. And then I like to go onto my tippy toes and then bring my heels as close to the mat as I can. Some people can get their heels all the way down, sometimes you can't. What's your body telling you today? And this is a good way to think about, like, hey, what's my body telling me? Hips are high, thighs are squeezing towards each other, hands and feet are planted into the ground. And then you roll forward on an inhale to your plank pose, stacking your elbows above your wrists, your shoulders above your wrists, so everything is stacked. Now you're on your tippy toes. And since I'm on my tippy toes, I'm going to draw my heels towards the back of the mat and my head past the front, or the crown of my head past the front of my mat. I know I probably look like Cousin It right now with my hair all over the place, but we'll be okay. Crown of the head towards the front of the mat, heels towards the back, core is zipped, drawing my belly button towards my ribs, and then back towards my spine. I like to draw my thighs together, and I'm using all of my legs. So I'm using my thigh muscles to draw my hips up a little bit more, keeping this plank position. And then from my plank, my crown is still a little bit high as I bend my elbows and lean my chest forward for Chaturanga. Chaturanga is typically about halfway. I'm going to bring it all the way down so you can see my elbows bend towards each other. And I just lowered myself mostly to the ground. From Chaturanga, and the reason I lowered myself down just for explanation's sake, so I wanted to plant my feet, so the tops of my feet, I want to plant them into the mat. Hands are still holding strong here right by my chest, and my elbows are still bent, but then I draw my thighs, again using my thighs, drawing them together, zipping up the core and raising my head to the sky, and then as I press even more into the ground, I can take my knees off the ground. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. And in here, I'm gonna make adjustments. So maybe I bring my chest forward a little bit more, zipping my core, crown of the head again to the sky. This is a slight back bend. So core is strong as I draw the back end through my thoracic spine. And from there, tuck my toes again, hips draw back, downward facing dog. And that's usually on the next exhale, down dog. And the beauty of it is that, think about it, when you exhale and you're down dog, your tummy is pushing everything out, so that way you can get a lot of good air out. So from your down dog, inhale, right leg to the sky. I'm keeping my foot flexed, so that way it just helps me as a guide so I can see the line, that I'm not drawing my hips out or to the side. I'm just drawing them up. And it doesn't matter how high it is right now. You're just getting some movement in. So this is not like, yoga is not a competition, nor should it ever be. And then drawing your knee towards your nose, placing your foot, aiming for placing your foot in between your hands. This morning I'm making an adjustment, drawing my hands back a little bit. Crown of my head is aiming to lengthen the spine. So I'm drawing my crown away from my heels and my heels away from my crown. So I actually can feel my heel moving away from my body, of my left foot. And then as I'm lengthening my spine, even though I'm drawing my heel back, I can actually feel a little bit of momentum to draw me forward. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Right bend in my knee for that Uttanasana. Letting it out, and then inhaling my hand, prayer hands all the way back up, Urdhva Hastasana, hands to the sky. Oh, that's a good feeling. And then exhaling, bringing my prayer to my heart, Tadasana. I'm gonna move my mat a little bit. And this time we'll do it with the breath. So just for fun, on the left side, we'll do it with the breath. And then hopefully you'll have a nice tool in your toolbox for, getting the chitty-gritties out, getting some anxiety out. Tadasana at the top of my mat. Hands to prayer. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, right leg back, downward dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, tuck your toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, foot between the hands. Inhale, lengthens the spine. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Rise to the sun. Exhale, Tadasana. And in your Tadasana, I'm offering you the chance to feel. Maybe you feel your blood running through your veins. Maybe your thumbs can feel your heartbeat. Maybe you feel something completely different. But they're your feelings, and I want to invite you to have them. So that was the beginning of Surya Namaskar. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have questions, you can ask me any questions you like on my website, www.fortheloveyoga.com, and I will spell it out in the comments below, or you can even just comment below as well. So thank you for spending some time with me. Namaste.